What's up guys, and welcome back to the channel. And in today's video I am going to be discussing the biggest sport terrorists in the UFC. That's going to sound crazy and that's going to sound like I'm over exaggerating, but I'm not. We are talking about the fighters who just absolutely kill the sport. Like, they hold the sport hostage. They are just an absolute abomination to their division, you know. They bring misery to the sport. These are the fighters we're discussing for different reasons, one or another. These are most of them just fighters who I dislike heavily. It's just a reskinned video of any fighters I just dislike. I've done about 5 of these, so yeah, welcome to the club. Subscribe if you haven't already. But anyway, like the video, all that, and we're going to get into it and start off with the flyweight division. So first up, Amir Albazi. I hate this guy. Amir Albazi, let me tell about this kid, Amir Albazi. This guy's an absolute scumbag. I don't know, I just don't like this dude. It's no reason. Like, I just don't know why. I fucking hate him. He's boring. He hasn't actually beat a single fucking ranked fighter. He robbed Kai France. And I don't know. I just don't know what the fuck he's doing. He's just weird. He looks weird. He's annoying to look at. And yeah. I know there's going to be some nerd in the comments being like, Left Lane, look how many Muslim fighters you're including in this video. You're Islamophobic. Shut the fuck up. That's not the reason. Correlation doesn't equal causation, you heard? That's what I'm talking about. Anyway, Amir Albazi, I just dislike this dude heavily. Let's move on though to the next fighter. Next up, Kai France. This little fucking gremlin of a person. Like, why does your face look like that, first of all? Second of all, if this dude beats Pantoja, I'm actually gonna be so mad. Like, don't come to school tomorrow if fucking Kai France wins the belt. I'm gonna be upset. Pantoja is like literally my favorite fighter. I love Pantoja, and Kai France just pisses me off. He already KO'd Usyk. I'm not trying to see this dude fucking, like, I don't particularly care for Cody Garbrandt, but there's people that do. So like, this dude is like, he KO'd Garbrandt, he KO'd Usyk. This dude's managing to get Bedtime. Must fucking hate this guy because I know Bedtime loves Cody Garbrandt and I know he loves Steve Usyk. But if he KOs Pantoja, you've officially made an enemy, Kai France. So count your days, buddy. But now Pantoja by submission, obviously that's going to happen. But I don't know. I just dislike Kai. He's just annoying to look at. His just voice is annoying. Like, it's weird because he's like objectively not a boring fighter. Like, he's quite a fun fighter, but I just fucking hate looking at him and listening to him talk. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Mario Bautista. This dude. Absolute fucking inspiration for this video. Absolute sport killer, sport terrorist, plague on the sport. Get him out. I want to know, if there's one fucking person who is actually a fan of Mario Bautista, make yourselves heard and then unsubscribe from my channel and never come back. Like, comment down below if you genuinely, like, unironically, if you actually are rooting for Mario Bautista to win his fights. It's basically confirmed this dude's fighting Marlon Chito Vera on the Mexico card. Let me tell you, this Mexico card is actually stacked. We got Usyk Moreno main event, rumored Vera Bautista co-main. What's his name? Joe Pyfer, Salty Man Pyfer versus Kelvin Gastelum. We now have Drew Dober versus Manuel Torres and Daniel Zellhuber versus Elvis Brenner. It's a badass card. And Raul Rosas Chihuahuas is going to be on there too. Mexico cards is just always going to be fun. But let me tell about this kid, Mario Bautista. Look, I don't even like Chito Vera. So, will I be rooting for Chito Vera to front kick KO this dude and punt his head into the fucking orbit? Yes. But do I hate... do I like Vera that much? No. Do I still hate Bautista a lot more? Yes. So I will be rooting for Vera ultimately. But I think Vera will lose. I think Bautista will beat Vera. He'll just wrestle him. Vera's got shit takedown defense. But we can hope for the best. Anyway, let's move on. Hopefully the Bautista hate has translated countries. Like, it's translated race, it's translated ethnicity, nationality, all of it. Everyone universally just hates Mario Bautista. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, Movsar Evloev. Brother, she was 17. It is okay in our religion. I'm going to keep this up, and I'm going to still maintain that Movsar's a fucking weird bloke. In general, even if you take that away, everyone's like, oh, is that the only reason why you dislike him? No. He's just not a very likable fucking person. Like, listening to him talk, he's just got no... Oh, the one thing I'll give him credit for is that he's not, like, sitting there demanding a fucking title shot. Like, he is, like, actually saying, He wants to stay active and fight. So I do respect that. But in terms of like featherweight, there's no one that I feel like is like holding the fucking division hostage. I mean, objectively, it's Top Toro. This dude's literally holding the division hostage at fucking ransom. Just being like, alright, he's threatening to submit Volk. And he's basically being like, yeah, but I don't really want to fight at featherweight. I'd like to move up. So he's just demanding a fucking ransom, basically, of a double champ fight. So he does fit the bill. But in terms of like the fighters who are just dreaded to if they actually become champion, it's Movza. If this dude becomes champion, the division's cooked. Because we've had a generational run of elite featherweight champions who are actually like enjoyable to watch. Like Jose Aldo, Conor McGregor, immediately dipped, but it's fine. Conor, Holloway, Volk, Top Toro. I swear to God, if this dude somehow wins a fucking vacant title fight against Diego Lopez in a rematch or Volkanovski by split decision, I'm a crash out, as the kids say. But yeah, I fucking hate Movza. I don't know, it's just boring. Like, how are you gonna have 8 fights and no fucking finishes? Like, that's actually ridiculous. Anyway, let's move. Taliesin Teixeira made his debut. Has had 1 fight in the UFC. You've got 8 times more fights than this man. And you've got 0 finish. He's got more finishes than you. Crazy work. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Michael Chandler. The absolute fucking abomination of lightweight. Fun fighter. Everything else about this dude is insufferable. His call-outs, insufferable. His personality, insufferable. The motivational speeches, insufferable. Shut the fuck up. Everything, this dude's social media game, his random beef, like he's trying to act like he's one of the boys. Like, this dude's the guy that thinks he's part of the friend group. Like, he thinks he's part of the violence crew at lightweight who's been around for ages. Like, buddy, you got here 4 years ago, you've had 5 fights. Like, you've had 6 fights you've had 6 fights this decade, buddy. We're halfway through the decade. What are you doing? But like Michael Chandler, again, he's still like he's like, no, we good, when Poirier's like, one more fight or whatever, and then Poirier's like, yeah, who's we? Because like, again, who the fuck is, like, bro, Beneil Dariush has been around. Beneil Dariush is an established vet compared to you. Like, I know you fought at fucking Bellator. You're not you're not one of the lads. You're not one of the boys. UFC fans aren't that attached to you. No one really cares about you. And I don't know, he's just annoying. Like, if this dude, surely it doesn't happen. I do think it'll end up being him versus Paddy. But if this dude somehow manages to fucking swindle his way into a fight with Arman Sarkarian, I'm gonna actually be pissed off. Like, it's gonna go beyond privilege and be genuinely like, I'm gonna have to do a deep dive if he actually like has dirt on the UFC. I'm dropping a fucking Chandler industry plant exposed video if he actually gets a fight with Arman Sarkarian. Anyway, let's move on from Michael, Mr. Get Out Chandler, and we're going to move on to the next fighter. Next up, Leon Edwards. Yeah, bruv, Balal, bruv. I'd like to rematch, bruv. Trilogy, bruv. I definitely think 48-47 split decision over JDM, bruv. I reckon I deserve trilogy fight rematch. That's 9 fights in a row, bruv. Give me my belt. Leon Edwards, Mumblemouth. Yeah, this dude is literally like making us, like, this dude as champ was making us long for the days of fucking Tyron Woodley and Kamaru Usman. Like, everyone, like, MMA Guru's, like, celebration when this dude KO'd Kamaru Usman. Everyone's like, oh my god, this is amazing. Because Usman was starting to get to the point where it's like, okay, he's not boring, but it's kind of like, can we get some movement? Like, can this dude stop just spamming rematches? And then he finally lost to Leon. We're like, okay, amazing, incredible, right? And then since then, we're like, all right, bring back Usman, bro. Bring back 2021 Kamaru Usman that was fucking KOing Gilbert Burns and Jorge Masvidal. Like, bring that guy back. I know that Leon's not champ now, but it's kind of like, what's the fucking point of comparison going from Leon Edwards to Bilal Muhammad? Like, everyone's like, oh, Leon's inactive, so's Bilal. Oh, Leon's boring, so's Bilal. Oh, Leon never has any finishes, neither does Bilal. Like, they're both fucking terrible. At least Bilal is like slightly more entertaining social media wise, and he'll talk some shit, and he's kind of funny at moments. But like, and he doesn't completely act like a fucking NPC. Like, the thing is, Bilal doesn't actually have a career highlight to, like, make people think he's good. Or, like, not good. Sorry, I should reword that. Make people think he's entertaining or, like, get these random, like, edits. Like, fucking Rakic has 1 KO in his fucking... He's got more, but, like, he's got 1 highlight reel KO against fucking Jimmy Manuel or whatever, where he slapped him out cold with a head kick. Rakic and Leon Edwards are literally the same fighter. Just different divisions and different skin colors. But, like, Leon Edwards' entire fucking career... there were no Leon Edwards fans before he KO'd Usman. And if you fucking say that you were a Leon fan before he KO'd Usman, you're lying or you're just trying to be different. But the thing I respect about Bilal is he doesn't even have that one fraudulent highlight to fucking piggyback his career off of. Like, there are no Bilal Muhammad standing TKOing Sean Brady edits, bro. Like, there's no headshot dead standing jab TKOing Sean Brady. Like, we don't see those. But we just see Leon Edwards fucking edits popping up on my timeline every 2 fucking days from like 4 years ago. I'm like, alright, cool, he KO'd Usman once. Apart from that, what's he done? But I don't know, Leon Edwards, if this dude beats JDM, I'm not even like a massive JDM glazer like Guru and Bedtime, but like, if he beats JDM, it's just going to be dead. Because I'm caught in between two minds of like wanting JDM to get exposed so Guru and Bedtime stop glazing. But then also, like, I still like JDM to an extent, and I don't want him to I don't want him to lose to Leon. Like, I want him to lose to Prates, or like a Buckley maybe, or something like that. I don't want him to fucking lose to like Sean Brady, or Bilal Muhammad, or Leon Edwards. Like, that's where I'm like, okay, I'm still rooting for JDM. But anyway, Leon Edwards, he's absolutely, like, terror. If he wins against JDM and somehow managed to get a title, they ain't going to give him one, I'll tell you that. This is a number one contender fight for JDM. If Leon fucking wins and Bilal's champ, they ain't doing that. Maybe Shavkat, but even then. Maybe they do Shavkat and try and get Leon the belt back so, like, Islam can go up and just beat him easily. I don't know. We'll see what happens. But Leon Edwards absolutely dreading this dude winning a fight at the top of welterweight. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Next up, we got Colby Covington. I don't even care about this dude anymore. Like, a few years ago, I would have been, like, praying on this man's downfall. He's so far past it. Like, he's past the point of, like, relevance at the top. Like, realistically, I'm more relevant than Colby Covington. Like, let me tell you, left lane does way more draws than this kid. Colby, his last fight absolutely flopped. Left lane on pay-per-view, that's badass. That's doing at least 250k. No, but let me tell you about Colby Covington. I don't know, this dude's cringe. I've hated him forever. I've never liked Colby. I've never understood the support for Colby. Again, like, I don't know why Guru likes him. I guess it's because he's trying to be like, oh, but look, he's based. He's not even based. He's just retarded, and he's got a fake personality, and he doesn't know half the stuff he's saying. And even, like, the trash talk wasn't that, like, everyone's like, oh my god, Colby was the best trash talker ever. He's fucking mid. There's, like, 20 people that I can name off the top of my head. I'm not going to do it now because I can't be bothered. But, like, there's so many people who are more entertaining trash talkers than this dude. Fucking Bilal Muhammad is a fucking more funny trash talker than Colby. He's not funny. He's had, like, 2 good lines. He had the smoke signals line. And apart from that, he's coming up with some fucking dragon energy shit where it's like, shut up, you tard. Anyway, Colby, it's past the point of, like, him terrorizing the division of, like, I don't want this guy to win anymore, because I don't really care. Like, if he fights, like, a guy who I like, if he fights, like, Wonderboy, I'll still be rooting for Wonderboy to win, obviously. But if he fights fucking Jeff Neal, like, I'll be rooting for Jeff Neal, I'll be rooting for anyone to beat Colby. But I won't care that much, because I'm like, alright, whatever, Colby's a bum, he's a scrub, he's irrelevant. He's off to the GFL. Anyway, let's move on. He's fighting Lorenz Larkin in the GFL, kid, good luck. Let's move on, though, to the next fight. Next fighter. Next up, here's the fucking thing, man. Sean Strickland. Let me tell you about this kid. Dude is an absolute point fight machine. He is going to jab and kick like nobody. And I mean no. Who does that? Who jabs like, who teeps to the body at range like that? Sean Strickland's one of one. No, but Sean Strickland, bro, even this man's coach is turning on him. Even Eric Nixick's coming out there and just being like, yeah, you're not fucking listening to anyone. Like, what are you doing? Fight. Like, be coachable. Actually try and win a fucking fight. You're not sparring, buddy. Like, why are you backing up? Fucking moving your arms around like iCarly. Trying to fucking, like, buddy, this is not Sneeko. Like, you can't just beat this dude up. And even then, like, he's like, oh, you gotta put it on this dude. He threw, like, one fucking punch with aggression the whole fight and it landed. Apart from that, this dude's jabbing at range. No joke, looking absolute fucking like, Strickland either has, there's 2 options. Either Strickland just genuinely a bitch and is, which I don't think he is. Like, I don't think Strickland is, like, that afraid of damage. He's taken damage before. Maybe it's just the fact that he got knocked out. Like, he's been knocked out before Pereira. But the Pereira KO, he was so fucking humiliated by that. Like, he fought like that before that, don't get me wrong. But he would put it on guys a bit. Like, he would put it on Jack Marshman. He would put it on fucking Uriah Hall. Right? Like, he would actually have a bit of output. Not saying he was always like a barn burner, action-packed fighter. But he wasn't putting on some fucking absolute nothing burger performances. After the Pereira KO, I truly believe he was that humiliated by that. And he's like, I don't want to be KO'd again. Now I'm in the spot. No one cared about him at welterweight, but like now he's in the spotlight. He's at the top of the division. I'm like, I don't want to be KO'd. I can't be KO'd. So now he's fighting like an absolute pussy, just backing up the whole time rather than like, I'd rather just lose a damage-based decision than get KO'd and go out on my shield. That's what I think. Or he gets like chinned in sparring occasionally, which I doubt because he spars cans in sparring. So yeah, I don't know. Strickland, let me know if you agree in the comments. Do you think that's why? Because again, am I tripping? Name a Sean Strickland's performance before the Alex Pereira, the Hermansson fight was pretty dead. But he's definitely gotten more boring after the Pereira fight, for sure. Like, the Cannonier fight was dead. The Cannonier fight was pretty shit. The Amava fight was mid. It was alright. But it's anyone with power. Like, he fought like an absolute pansy against Cannonier. He fought like an absolute bitch against Dricus in the rematch. Even again in the first fight. Like, I'm tired of people acting like Strickland he was a different savage in the first. Like, he really wasn't. He just was more effective because Dricus didn't move forward as much. But as soon as Dricus moved forward, he just goes like into his fucking shell. He's like, no, here's the fucking thing. I'm gonna get KO'd, guys. I can't throw any punches. So he just did nothing the whole time. Just tried to defend. Costa might look like a big scary puncher, but again, Strickland did fuck all. Took like basically no risks that whole fight. And I'm not saying he has to trade hooks in the pocket, but like fight with a little bit more aggression. I truly believe that Pereira KO put a thing in his mind of like, I can't let this happen to me again. I'm just going to turn into a jab and teep merchant. I do think the sparring habits also are a negative. Like, we need to get this dude maybe even just out of extreme for a bit. Like, I'm not opposed to him getting coached by Nixick, because Nixick's one of the best coaches in the game. But like, you should, with your, like, he has talent. He's not a bad fighter. He beat Amavov. He beat Izzy. When he fights to the right game plan, he's effective. But he can't just back up against these fucking power punches. And again, the gimmick of the talking and the we're going to go to war for you fucking guys, it's just getting old. Like, yes, he's got some funny media days, and yes, he's occasionally says some base shit, but then yes, he also says some cringe shit, and it's just like, alright, I'm getting sick of it now, buddy. Like, you're getting a bit boring. Like, alright, go fight fucking Luke Rockhold in the GFL. Like, that's the level we're getting to. But no, I don't know. I still think he would beat most guys. I think Baralio could probably outdo him, again, based off, like, actually Baralio not being a pussy and trying to fight. I think Hernandez would probably outgrapple him. But, like, but again, like, I'm not watching how he just fought against Dricus. Am I that confident that this dude just schools Robocop on the feet? He should, but he'd probably fucking back up the whole time and just lose a damage-based decision because all the punches landing on his guard. Like, am I tripping for thinking Robocop, if he looks good against Cannonier, has a good chance stylistically to just out-damage Strickland to a decision? Like, that's the level we're at with Sean at this point, where it's like, bro, can you fucking do something, please? Anyway, let's move on. Strickland was the main point of this video, because everyone's like, you never call out Strickland. I'm like, I've called Strickland retarded before. I've said he's dumb as fuck and his fights are boring. I'm not some D1 Strickland fan. I thought he was a bit funnier than he now is seeming to be. And I just had lingering appreciation for him after the Izzy fight. Because I don't care how boring it was, he beat Izzy, I don't care, and he walked him down and dropped him. And he was riding off that for so long, and he still was able to just draw the last little bits of fucking fan support and acceptance and, like, appreciation from that Izzy fight. Again, which was in Australia, which is why I do think he still had some lingering support in Australia. But, like, people are fucking sick of him. Like, you should see the comment sections after the Izzy fight were just so, like, he was probably like a top 5 star in the UFC just for that, like, brief period. And then now all the comments is like, we're gonna go to war and jab and teep for you guys. Like, they're all just taking the piss, and it's true. Because he's turned into an absolute fucking bitch. Anyway, and yeah, Nixick is just being like, yo, if you're gonna just be a fucking tard and not listen to your corner, like, go elsewhere. And some people gave Nixick some shit and be like, oh, that's a bad mentality as a coach. He's only wanting to train champions. It's not only wanting to train champions. Like, he trains fucking Daniel Zellhuber and Roman Dolidze and Michel Pereira. Like, he trains these guys and Chris Curtis. He trains these guys who aren't going to be champions. Like, Ngannou and Strickland are the 2 guys he has, right? That are, like, at the very top of the sport. It's not about necessarily being a champion, but it's about actually having a champion mentality. And when Strickland said, I don't give a fuck about the belt, well then what are you in this for? That's what Nixick said, you're just fucking in it for money. Go be in it for money elsewhere. Like, that's kind of the vibe we're kind of sick of it. Like, if he comes out there next fight against fucking, rematches Brendan Allen and just jabs him at range for 5 rounds in the Apex, like, We're fucking sick of him. Like, it's done. You can't just keep doing the fuck. We're gonna go to war for you fucking guys. It just doesn't work anymore. Anyway, let's move on to the next fighter. Magomed Ankalaev, no joke, has the entire light heavyweight division tied around the fucking pole in handcuffs as fucking hostages with gags in their mouths, fucking with a ransom, with a fucking general on the phone demanding a ransom, being like, I'm gonna kill this entire division if he beats Pereira. Like, that was a really weird way of fucking describing that. But, like, you know what I mean. This dude has hostages. This dude has threats. Like, he has threats that he's capable of of actually, like, carrying out. And he will commence fucking Operation Destroy 205 for good if he beats Pereira. Because that division will be unbelievably dead if he wins. I'm sorry, I'm not hyped up. Apart from Yuri in a fight, because Yuri in a fight against anyone's fun. But, like, I'm sorry, we're not trying to see fucking Ankalaev versus Krylov 2 for the belt. That's dead. We're not trying to see fucking 1940s Soviet fucking Europe. 1940s fucking communist Europe. Just ran back with fucking all these different countries. Like, alright, cool, we got Poland and Russia, you know, we got Ukraine, we got fucking Austria, we got Czech Republic, we got the entire fucking Soviet bloc represented. In the entire block represented in this fucking light heavyweight division. And we're just going to see Ankalaev just run rematches with half of these guys who he had split decisions with 4 years ago. Like, every fucking Ankalaev title fight, like Rakic 2, cold. Alright, Krylov 2, sick. Blachowicz 2, awesome, incredible. It's Jamal, Yuri, and fucking Olberg, like the only... Ozdemir 2, brilliant. Let's get Ozdemir a fucking win in a rematch over Bogdan Guskov. He can get a title fight against Ankalaev. The division will be so fucking cooked. With heavyweights already dead. We're just gonna... If fucking Ankalaev wins, we're just gonna be knocking down divisions. Like, we're just gonna be, like, tipping them over, fucking dominoes. Alright, we're done with this one. Get it out. It's cooked. Just send it. Every division has this fucking reset phase of just being shit. Lightweight's, like, the only one that really hasn't had it. Featherweight's had, like, periods of being not amazing, but it's never been, like, awful. Flyweight had the dark ages, you know? Flyweight had the about to literally they were about to fucking cut the entire flyweight division and just remove it. Heavyweight right now is atrocious, and heavyweight had some bad days in the past. Light heavyweight, for that, there was a period where we were running off fucking Thiago Santos, Anthony Smith title defenses for John Jones. That was dismal. If Ankalaev wins, we're plunging into the fucking medieval times. Like, we are in the plague. Like, we are back into the fucking Spanish flu of, like, world fucking disasters and tragedies. If Ankalaev wins, like, we're gonna look at, like, most tragic events across world history. The worst events that happen across world history, you know? We're gonna see the plague, we're gonna see the Spanish flu, we're gonna see World War I, World War II. Depending on who you ask, the Holocaust. Not Bryce Mitchell, though. He won't have that in that same group. And then it's just gonna skip. It's gonna be like, I don't know, Vietnam War, fucking Cold War, 9/11, and then it's gonna skip to Ankalaev winning the fucking belt. Like, that is gonna be the 21st century. That is gonna be the 2020's worst event, worse than COVID. If Ankalaev wins, bro. Anyway, let's move on to the final fighter. John Jones, let me tell you, everybody knows that this was who I was going with for heavyweight. John Jones is legitimately the biggest plague on the sport right now because he has the most influence. He is, like, there's other fights where it's like contenders that we don't want to become champion, right? John is actively, like, on paper, the undisputed champion. And he is an absolute plague to the fucking sport. Blatantly ducking the number one contender, interim fucking champion, when there's literally no one else worth fighting. No one else at heavyweight to fight. Pereira is the most dumb fucking excuse for a duck I've ever heard. I'd rather fight Pereira. He's my age, he's not young and dangerous, and can actually humiliate me and has grappling. I'd rather fight Pereira and just lay on top of him. That sounds like something I want to do. That's the best for my career at this point. But no, John Jones, fucking abomination of a human. Absolutely hate this man. Call him a man. He's not a fucking man. He's a absolute disgrace. As it's crazy that me, as a random fucking bum sitting in my room recording videos on a laptop, can call another man a disgrace while being a professional world champion. But it's true. He is a fucking disgrace, and he is an embarrassment to the sport. Everything about him sucks. Go watch my Why I Hate Every Champion video. It's my most popular video on my channel. It's got like 170,000 views. That's where I go into the full detail of the John Jones experience. But anyway, that'll do it. Like, subscribe, follow my Twitter, Instagram, all that, Left Lane MMA. Leave some more video ideas. I'm running out of content. And anyway, predictions I'll drop on my second channel. I'm not dropping predictions on my main channel. Kill my algorithm. Anyway, goodbye.